Oh my goodness, we're here. Tup looks a little different tonight.
You can call me Putt instead of Tup. You can call me Putt.
I just refer to you as the Queen. That is what we refer to you as. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. This is Prep Talk Live, episode 80, episode 81. It should be episode 81. I wrote 80. It should be 81.
Okay.
Joining me as sometimes, but tonight as full on, is Sutton's Days. The Queen of the Candelorians is here. She is joining us. You can tell that we've got the Queen here because normally when we do these streams, and Tup is here and he puts it on his Gut Preps channel or whatever. Usually, when we go live, usually there's 10, 15, 20 people in there or whatever, and then it ramps up over the course of the thing. It went from 0 to 113. It's like that. And I was like, wow, I feel like I threw a party, but I ended up at Sutton's Days party. So my goal tonight is to just not embarrass Sutton's Days in front of all of her folks.
It's practically impossible to embarrass me, so you're good.
Welcome, everyone. So, Lisa, how are you? How are things? Normally I would say, what's up, Tup? But, what's up, Putt?
Well, there you go. Just call me Putt. I am prepared urban Tupper. Let's see. So Charles asked if you fired Tup, and the answer is no.
No, we did not. He had some scheduling conflicts this week, and then he is going on vacation next week. So he has a little romantic getaway planned. He and the missus and Rip are going to the train station, I think.
Yep.
For part of the week.
I don't know about the train station, but him and
look, Rip might take Tup to the train station.
There you go. There you go. Rip. There you go. That'd be funny. Okay.
So yeah. So Lisa joined us, and we've been kind of doing this roundtable idea for a little while, and now it's just kind of an open invitation. So Brecky from Sustainable Prepping.
Yep.
Sustainable may also jump in and join us at some point this evening. We're gonna go for about half an hour. Because I have to go pick up a kid from basketball because we just started now 2 kids in basketball and dealing with the schedules is a whole thing. So we're going to chat for a little bit. We're going to try to stay on task because whenever Sutton's Days is here, she reminds us we have to stay on task. You can tell one of us has been doing live streams for 9 years and one of us has been doing them for about 10 minutes. Okay. And what we just tried to do.
We have a limited amount of time here. So tell me about your chickens.
Okay, yeah. So in the green room before this, Lisa was asking, so what are we talking about? Because for everyone who's new to our stream, we oftentimes have no planning other than I put out a title and a thumbnail, and then we kind of figure it out as we go.
Or don't talk about that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We may not talk about it at all. We might talk about it the whole time. Who knows? So what I was telling Lisa about was yesterday we have a chicken. We have 5 chickens. One of our chickens has been limping for about the last couple of weeks. And I know that chickens can get injured and they're hardy little birds. So we're like, okay, we're going to let her do her thing and see what happens. And I came out yesterday and there was blood on the ground. And I was like, this is a problem. And the bigger chickens had started pecking at this poor little chicken. Yep. And she was one of our original chickens. So even though we have a lot of love for this little chicken. Mm-hmm. So I channeled all of my YouTube homesteading things that I had thought about. I was like, I got to get this chicken out of here because if I leave, the chicken is not going to make it through the night. These bigger chickens are going to
kill her.
Yeah. This is going to get ugly. And I don't want to deal with ugly this week. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Also, I would like the chicken to live a reasonable life. I would like it to be a happy chicken. So I realized we have gone through a couple of different brooder systems when we have done a couple of rounds of chicks. And our last batch we did in a dog crate, in a metal collapsible dog crate that we put on our deck. And then we got a cover that goes over top of it. Okay. So we could direct the heat lamps and we could keep them dry and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have seen on all the videos, okay, when you have a chicken that's got a problem, you got to get a little hospital set up for the chicken. You got to get it out and move. And I don't have a farm. So I was like, what do I put this chicken in to keep it safe? So I went and I got the kennel and I was putting it together. and got the chicken into the kennel. And chicken is very happy now. She's not being harassed. She has her own food, her own water. She's fantastic. The other chickens are looking at the crate wondering why they don't get to go, and it's because they were mean chickens and they get to stay.
They're not wondering why they don't get to go. They're wondering how they can get over there.
Yeah, exactly. So they get to stay in their spot, and we're going to give the other chicken, hopefully, from everything I've read, you give them a few weeks and they'll kind of heal up, hopefully, or at least get their strength back and not be attacked anymore.
If she heals up to the point where she's walking without that limp, and wherever they caused her to bleed is, if it's not too much, and it heals up, then introduce her back in the middle of the night. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Okay. But the pecking order is real.
Oh, yeah.
It's vicious, and it's worse than the bullies on the playground in grade school. I mean, it's horrible. They will still pick on her because she will be the new kid on the block again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she'll be healed, and so she'll be better able to run and protect herself.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because for a while, it seemed like they were leaving her alone. Like when I would go in and feed them every day, she would kind of come down and eat the feed, and they would kind of stay back, and then they would come in, and I was like, oh, I don't know if they're just even though she's the runty little limpy chicken, but she's been here the longest, maybe.
That doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long they've been there doesn't make the difference, but the pecking order is the pecking order with chickens is the strongest will survive, and the rest of you will turn into a bloody mess.
Which is, I don't need that in the backyard. These are supposed to be lovely egg-laying creatures.
And they will kill each other. Given the first opportunity, they will go full cannibal and kill each other. Yeah.
That's what they say. Tiny T-Rexes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
100. Yeah.
Raptors.
So as I was going through this whole thing yesterday, I was like, okay, I don't know that when given problems like this, it's raining, there's a chicken that's got a problem, you're in suburbia, you got to think of a creative way of doing stuff. And a lot of the conversations we have in the kind of prepping world and everything is, having multi-tools because they do multiple things, and what can you use cordage for, and all of that sort of stuff. And it made me think, is there something to the idea that there is a certain amount of creativity that you either must have or must be able to tap into to start to look at things through the lens of preparedness for you and your family, because you have to start to put things together that wouldn't necessarily normally add up to keep everyone safe or alive?
I'm going to say that, and it kind of fits in with my video today. I'm going to say it very much depends on where you're coming from. It depends on your perspective. If you have ever been broke, I'm not talking, I don't get paid till tomorrow. I'm talking broke. Okay.
Yeah.
You learn how to make something out of nothing very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that you're much more open to being able to do that and pull it off.
Yeah.
It may not be something that lasts as long as you want it to, or, but you're much more open to it. If you're not somebody who's ever had to make something out of nothing, I think it's harder to wrap your brain around doing it.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because when you say that, there's a lot of conversations and videos that I saw as I was beginning my kind of preparedness journey several years ago, that were saying, if you want to get an idea, get ideas, go and look at people who are homeless, people who are unhoused, whatever you want to call it. They're very creative in building structures and coming up with things with literally, in a lot of cases, garbage.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to think about, coming from a very privileged perspective where I have fortunately never had to deal with that. Right. To then kind of think about it and say, okay, how would I put this together? How do I make this work? We know I'm the bougie prepper and all that sort of stuff.
You are the bougie prepper, yes.
So I didn't have time to go and buy a whole new coop or that, and it doesn't make sense.
You have to make do with what you've got.
Exactly.
How do you had a crate. What would you do if you didn't have a crate?
So that was one of the things I was looking at. I had some old cattle panels that we had that we had used for trellises.
Uh-huh.
I had
chickens walk through a cattle panel though.
Well, yeah, that's true. Actually, it was a hog panel because the ones at the bottom were smaller.
Yep.
I was hoping because she was limpy that she wouldn't try.
No, she'd still do it. We had to put chicken wire around our dog kennel outside, our dog run.
Yeah.
Is the fencing for it is cattle panel or hog panel, okay? And the chickens walk right through it to their death because my dog thought that they were coming to play and that they were a squishy ball. So we had to put chicken wire around the cattle panels to keep the chickens from getting in. The chickens will walk right through those holes.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like I had like some extra like plastic tubs. I was like, okay, this is not ideal, but maybe I could at least like contain her in safety for a couple of hours until I could go get something else. Which, again, like the privileged option of, okay, I can go to the farm store and get something. Right. Yeah. The goal was originally first make it so they don't eat her.
Right.
And make it so that we back up to a wetlands. So there's hawks and raccoons. I was like, okay, and don't leave her just wandering around in the backyard because something will come and get her that way. Yeah.
Everybody loves chicken. Yep.
Yeah. But also I was like, okay, we're not bringing this chicken in the house because I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know I don't know if they're fleas or something on the chicken or like, so yeah.
I don't care how many people on TikTok or wherever are doing it. Don't bring a chicken in the house.
Yeah. Especially if it's been an outdoor chicken. Right. I mean, I feel like if it was maybe originally an indoor.
I love chickens, but at the end of the day, chickens are dirty. They're very dirty animals. They're very dusty and they're very dirty. And you don't want to bring them in the house.
My mother-in-law and my mother, both of whom were raised on ranches, all said the same thing. Yeah. They were like, why are you doing chickens? They're really disgusting animals. They're dirty.
But they're good. They give you eggs and they're entertaining and they eat scraps. So there's no leftovers. And
that's what I said. I was like, it's chicken TV. This is fantastic.
Seriously, pull up a couch and call it a day. It's cheap. I don't know if it's cheaper than streaming, but yeah.
Also, I think it probably depends on the sort of coop situation that you have. Yeah. Yeah. It's not our situation. I don't know that it's cheaper than streaming.
We have we literally put cup holders on the fence of our first pig pen because we had so much fun just standing there watching them.
I would love to have pigs.
I know. They would not go with your neighborhood. Your HOA would probably complain, but
no, which is awesome. Yeah, it's kind of funny because in our area we do have we are the urban boundary, so like actually our county is half city zoned and half like unincorporated and farmland. Okay. So like if we lived like 6 blocks away, then we could have anything we wanted in our backyard. Right. So you got to move. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, are the Kuni pigs worth it for me to move 6 blocks away? And the answer was
Kunis, no, but yeah.
Yeah. I just love the Kuni pigs. I don't know that they're like.
You like the name. You like the name.
Yeah, the Pratts had Kuni pigs. Yeah.
But I think they stuck with red wattles after that.
They did. Yeah. They did. Yeah. The ones that have they have like little things off the side of their faces or whatever. They went through several different batches of
They did. Yeah.
Different types. And then they were like, but I was all excited with the Kuni. I was trying to convince my wife. I was like, look, it's like a potbelly pig. Yeah. But it'll just wander around in our yard.
Yeah. No, it won't.
Yeah. She was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you get a farm, then we'll get a Kuni pig. But right. We live in the city.
You have to get 2 because they're social.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. 1. See, that's where the problems come in. The livestock math it's deceptive.
It's not like there's girl math, there's boy math, and there's livestock math. I know there's chicken math.
There's chicken math. There's pig math. There's duck math. There's
Is there pig math and duck math? Chicken math is just a tier. But.
It's just like yarn math. If you're a knitter or a crocheter, it's yarn math. You went for one thing and you came home with a truckload. It happens.
Is that what happened with your chicken? The whole thing. You went for a little bit and ended up with 600 pounds?
I went to purchase a dozen farm fresh eggs from somebody in my community, and she showed me her coop setup. And we started talking, and I called my husband and I said, honey, I want to get a rooster because you know how many eggs you get out of roosters, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he had previously said no chickens. I hate chickens.
Mhm.
And I said, I want to get a rooster because if I don't adopt him, then he's going to end up in a soup pot because he was low man on the totem pole.
Yeah.
And so he agreed because he's insane. And so then we made real quick. We actually went and got a building off. A friend of ours had old family property, and there were a bunch of decrepit old buildings on there. So we had to throw together, with no money, we had to throw together a coop situation for this chicken.
But wait a minute, but you got a whole building?
Well, what we got was an old outhouse structure.
Oh, okay.
Like a couple generations back, not recently used at, and
yeah. There was nobody in it when you.
There was nobody in it, and there were no newspapers there. Yeah, but it had the metal roof, it had the walls. We threw it on the back of a trailer. We brought it home. We hooked it up. And when I went back, because I told her, I said, if you can give me a week, just give me a week, and we'll get it all set up because I'm an idiot. And so yeah, I went to buy eggs. I got a rooster. She gifted me a hen. And then I ordered a half a dozen chicks to raise up to put in there with them. And so Doodle and Daisy and the Doodle bugs were born. Yeah.
And that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
And now how many chickens do you have?
Well, the numbers are dwindling for some reason. But we are at 37, I think, right now. So I'm going to order 50 for this spring.
All right. And are you doing for meat birds or?
Oh no, that doesn't include the meat. That doesn't include the meat birds. These are just for the layers. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So 50. So you'll have 80 layers, and then you get meat birds on top of that.
Yeah.
I would love to live on your farm.
I have a fifth wheel. It's called a fifth wheel. I have a fifth wheel sitting out there if you want.
Yeah. Okay. I love watching everyone that orders with their farm orders of chicks, and it's like, here's 300 chicks or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
That is amazing. We have to go get 2 because it's like, okay, one died, and so okay, we need to have more, but if one of those dies, we need to have 2 more.
Yeah.
So we
chicken math. See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta have that's where prepper comes in. You gotta have a backup to your backup to your backup,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We asked our neighbors, we're like, look, if you guys want eggs, what if we open up the fence a little bit, or you guys just grant us your chicken rights, and then we'll just have extra chickens in our thing or whatever.
There you go. They didn't like you that much?
No, they actually loved that idea. But then when I posed it to my wife, and I was like, so I think we're gonna 15 chickens in our backyard. She was like, absolutely not. It was one of those things. She wanted a cat when we first met. She was a cat person, and I was a fish person. And so I was not interested in furry creatures.
Okay. And
she said, no, I'm fine. We don't need a furry creature. And then once we got down the road here, then she was like, oh, no, I 100% want it. I just didn't want it that Tuesday. And I was like,
exactly.
Oh, yeah. So we've had a cat, and we're on our second cat, Dr. Winston Miauskowitz. He is a professor of literature or something. I don't know. He's in charge of all of that.
Okay.
And
you're just like, it's a cat. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a wonderful cat. It's a cross-eyed cat with no depth perception that had to be a purebred Siberian because they're hypoallergenic for our family members who are allergic to cats.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Which it worked. They're all reactive to every other cat, and this cat can do anything, and it doesn't matter. So just read, it's the bougiest cat ever.
Yeah, so you do have a status quo for bouginess.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100, yeah, 100. Look, the reason I started my channel and the blog was because when I decided that this earthquake thing was a thing and I needed to get everybody ready, to me, growing up, roughing it and all of that sort of stuff was room service stopped at 10 and there was no remote control for the TV. We didn't camp. My mom camped, take a horse and go get trout out of the lake. My dad was not interested in that. And I grew up apparently not being interested in that.
Okay.
So then when it was we're going to go camping and I'm getting sleeping bags and all, people are like, are you having a nervous breakdown?
I know.
What is happening? And I was like, no, I have to explain to you why this makes sense. But also you should do it too.
Right.
yeah, so the bouginess, there is a through line of bouginess.
Yes. Well,
100%.
Oh God, so, Kim or Kaylin Strain says we got to get Casey out into the woods.
We did. So we go camping every year. We go camping. That's a thing that happens. And we go out there. And my wife has said I can't get any new stuff unless we go and try it out in the woods. And I was like, originally, I said, this is the silliest thing ever. We should just go on vacation and just have it ready. But they were like, no, we need to go do this for the kids.
You need to know how to use it.
Exactly. And so now I know how to use it all, including the little oven that I got so we can make hot, chocolate chip cookies.
There you go.
Should the apocalypse happen,
chocolate chip cookies during the apocalypse are important.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a morale thing. As Trump would say, it's morale boosting. It was also just a ridiculous thing that I thought would be a good idea. It ended up being just not even a thing. So
wasn't a good idea?
No, it sits on a shelf high up, never to be used again. It's just a thing that we got. But it worked. It made chocolate chip cookies and nachos, but it's heavy and it doesn't. It's not.
Okay, not a good thing.
Yeah. So that's.
Okay, so back to the original question. If you didn't have the dog crate, what would you have cordoned off the chicken with?
So I was either going to use that. I was either going to use that. What's it called? Like Rubbermaid tub.
Okay.
It was a big Rubbermaid tub. It was it's got wheels and stuff.
Okay.
It's what I used to keep
the food. You wouldn't suffocate the chicken in there then.
No. It would have been a nice roomy tub for the chicken, especially because it was only one chicken. If we were trying to put 5 chickens in, it wouldn't be a good.
It wouldn't work.
But one chicken that can't really move, it would have at least kept her safe for a couple hours.
Right. It has room for food and water.
Yeah, it had plenty of room for all that sort of stuff, and then it would be okay. Do you cut some holes in that, or do I go and try to find something in the garage or
cut some holes in that.
Something like that? So that was.
It might get kind of warm depending, but yeah.
I mean, it's chilly here. It's not where you are.
Their body temperature is 104.
You know so much more about chickens than I do.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know that they don't need when it's cold they have extra down and they're designed for it. You don't need to put lots of
104. Yeah.
Heat lamps and everything in there for them just because it's chilly.
Right.
But. Yeah, I was figuring, okay, that would at least keep her safe and alive, and then we can reassess and come up with a better plan.
But the crate works out really good.
The crate's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's super because it's also for a big dog because we got it to brood up the 3 chicks that we had.
Oh, okay, then
yeah, it's not like a little. It's
we've got 6 dog crates, 6 great big dog crates out in the barn. And we use them all the time for animals. So, yeah.
Yeah. I saw Justin Rhodes actually put a broody chicken in a dog crate once.
Oh, yeah. We did too.
Okay. Yep. That was a thing.
Yep. And then I listened to the mom and I let because she said she wanted out. And I saw, okay, mom knows best. So I opened the door and then the other chickens ate my chick. So, I mean, chickens are mean. Chickens are mean. Yeah.
They're very violent.
They are horrible. Yeah. So now I've learned my lesson. So if I let any of them go broody this year, I'm creating a whole new system.
Like a whole separate,
They will have a whole separate coop until those chicks are big enough to kick butt.
Oh, wait a minute. The mom chick ate the mom.
The mom didn't eat it. The other chickens ate it
because the mom wasn't there to defend them.
Actually, I saw mom chase. At one point, I saw a chicken run up, grab the chick, and start running away with it. And the mom chased after it and got it away. Well, I'm also chasing after, going, let go of that baby. But mom didn't want to stay in an enclosed crate. She wanted to be out. And I'm like, okay, well, mom knows best. Mom didn't know jack. No, because the chick came out and the other chicken saw it and grabbed it, attacked it, killed it.
Oh, so the little chicks were in with mom in the crate.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
But mom wanted the crate open so that she could go out.
She could get out. Yeah. And so it was like, oh yeah, go out. And then the little chick decided to go, and that was a bad thing.
Yeah. So I'll never do that again. So yeah, I'm actually going to create separate little areas in the barn for any broody mamas and their babies.
That's a fantastic. I wish I had a barn. And then, like,
I wish I had a bigger barn.
You could have like room to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I took over the back third of the barn for the chickens.
What's in the front? 2/3.
Well, whenever, for some reason, and I'm sure that there's a logical reason, but of course these are the same people that sealed up tools inside the walls. For some reason, they only cemented the first 2/3 of the floor of the barn. So the back third was a dirt floor. So that's where we built the coop, and that's where all that stuff is. And inside the coop, we actually put down chicken wire, and we put pallets over the top of it. And it's the Fort Knox of chicken coops. But I need to take over the rest of it because the big door opens. Yeah. And the part that's in front of the big door there, that's where I need to be able to put my brooder boxes with my hens.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would think, because I've seen that, like, at least Justin Rhodes and the Pratts were my, like, animal people. Yep. And Lumna Akers.
Yep.
You were my canning person, and you give me inspiration to can.
Right.
And they were the ones who I saw their animals.
This is what you raised to stick in the cans. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. And the kids my kids would get involved because they would love to see, like, the little baby animals that
everybody
they got.
Everybody loves baby animals,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. We didn't necessarily. I think the older ones started watching the processing videos too, but like.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, oh, well, that's interesting. And I was like,
right.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get a hamburger.
Goes, right. Yeah. No, that wasn't Coco. That was Della.
But he would do, like, there were, like, chicken nurseries, and like everybody had, like, multiple places to put other chickens. And I was like, we've only had 5 chickens. There's not, like, what problem could we have? And then I found out what kind of a problem you can have with chickens.
Take Della down with you, please. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, there's always something to learn.
And luckily, I have people like you who I can be like, also help me figure out how to can things. And
Bill, our Casey does live in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
And Pony Girl, hi Pony Girl. We have gardener snakes, and I was always told that the chickens would eat the gardener snakes. They don't, and the gardener snakes don't mess with the chickens. And the gardener snakes and I have conversations every spring, and I say, Mama, if you don't mess with anything, I'll let you raise your babies here. And so we're good. I got a really big snake. I think it was last summer. I almost stepped on it because I just go walking across I'm oblivious. I just go walking across the grass half the time barefoot, and there was a big snake. It was really big, and I came up.
Not a gardener snake.
Not a gardener snake. No, this thing was huge, and I came up, and it when it brought its head up, it had that, the head flattened out, and I went, there is no way, and all the bad words that you can think of, that is a whatever, cobra, rattlesnake, whatever. I'm like, oh my God. So I called my neighbor down the road. I'm like, I need you now, and I sent her a picture, and she's like, it's harmless. I said, the hell it is. But it was huge, So she came down, and I forget what she called it, a bullnose, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she just took one of my rakes and went 300 feet the other direction and, took it away, and I never saw it again. All the time I've lived here, it's the first time I've ever seen one. But other than that, no, snakes are not an issue here. Snapping turtles can be an issue here. At a certain time here. Oh yeah. I left the garden gate open. I was prepping a raised bed. I was going to plant all my pumpkins in there. Okay. Life was going to be great. And I left the gate open, and I knew that there was a mama snapping turtle out in the yard because I'd seen her. The dogs were kind of losing their mind over her. And I'm just like, it's the season where it's the time where they lay eggs, and that's fine. Nobody's going to come into the garden. Yeah, wrong. So when I came back, she had come into the garden, gone down a step that was that deep, waddled over to the raised bed that I was working on, climbed up that deep into the raised bed, and proceeded I sat there for an hour on a milk crate. I'm way easy to amuse. I sat on a milk crate for an hour listening to this turtle lay eggs in my garden bed. And then I couldn't plant anything in that garden bed because it had baby snapper turtle eggs in it.
Right.
So, I just had to sit there and wait. And they did come fall. There were broken shells and everything. So I had to go get gloves and pick her up and take her out when she was all done. But for an hour, she laid eggs in my raised bed.
Okay, I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
I thought snapping turtles were like a southeast thing, not a Midwest northern thing.
No, they're Midwest northern. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If the snapping turtle was laying eggs, are snapping turtles a thing you desire, or
I just don't mess with them? We're in what appears to be a thoroughfare for their migration pattern. And so, later on in the summer or early fall, I have to watch where I'm walking because they're like that big, they're little snapping turtles and they're cute as snot. And, I don't want to smush them or do anything. And I just watch which way they're walking and I help move them along in that direction and I'm good. So
are they going to like a body of water or is it just,
I mean, I live, everything around me is kind of swampy, so, yeah, I'm sure they are. I've got, what are those pretty ones? Painted turtles that lay eggs in our yard every single year. I don't see any of them hatch though. But this one, she hatched. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the painted turtle would be nice at least. I mean, they're not, they're not going to bite your toe or anything like that.
No, and the snapping turtle, if you don't mess with her, won't. But she figured out how to get into the garden. She couldn't figure out how to get back out of the garden. So I had to go get my husband's welding gloves and go out there and come up behind her and grab her shell. And luckily, she couldn't reach far enough to get my hands. And then just took her out of the garden and sent her on her merry way.
Reminds me of like an episode of The Crocodile Hunter.
That's me.
Where you're like grabbing and they're like trying to get, but they can't because they have small necks, and so they're just very confused and snappy. And you come up from behind.
That's me. If I could fake an Australian accent, I'd be all over it. Yeah.
We need to get you like a tan button-up shirt and some khaki shorts, and then we can get you the little Australian accent and. You can go, crikey into the wilderness of.
There you go. Move over, Crocodile Dundee. Here I come.
like we said, everybody who's new to this whole thing, like you never know. Like we had a topic, we touched on it, we discussed it a bit.
Yep.
And then we're off to the races.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, because I have to go pick up my son for basketball practice.
Don't leave your kid at the school.
But there is a very important question that I have. I think Pony Girl probably would be interested in this. I don't know who else might be.
Okay.
The last time we checked in with you,
the
dreadlocks were very exciting, but also very heavy.
Yes.
And you were thinking about removing some of them.
We did. Yep. We removed about half of them. Yep. Okay.
Because it's looking a little bit lighter, but also I can't see the back, so it was like maybe that's a styling choice.
It's still a lot, but it's half of what it was. And it now I don't even notice it, and it freaks me out because I try to be as gray man as possible. I try to just believe it or not.
Yeah. And Amy, welcome to the party. We'll get along great.
Yeah, but I have a face that says don't talk to me when I'm out shopping. Just don't. And it freaked me out because we went out for a little bit this afternoon, walked into a couple stores, and in one store I was stopped 3 times with, "Oh my God, I love your hair," and I'm like, "Thank you," and then I'm okay.
These are not the dreadlocks you are looking for.
These are this is not the don't pay attention to me hairdo. Yeah. Yeah. Squirrel.
I love it. It's like your gray man outfit, but then you put like
neon lights on it. Yeah.
Traffic cone on the top of your head.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I did. But there are a lot in the apparently, a handful, not a lot, a handful in the prepper community that will no longer take me seriously, which is really awesome.
Wait a minute, hold on. Well, okay. I think this is funny, and I think this is also part of why Tup and I and you and Brecky get along so well.
Oh yeah.
Tell me who. You have how many 100,000 subscribers on YouTube? Mm-hmm. You've been doing this for 9 years. Mm-hmm. You said, "Hey, I'm going to be on this random stream," and 200 people showed up in 4 seconds. Okay, I don't know if I have 200 subscribers, let alone just showing up like that. And because you decided to get dreadlocks, who are these prepping aristocrats who have decided that that is the thing that determines whether or not you can be a prepper or not.
To the best of my ability, they're nobody. I had somebody that went out of their way to email me to tell me that, oh, I've watched your channel for a long time, and I really like this and that and this and that, but I and I'm paraphrasing at this point, I can't stand your hairdo, and you really need to, that it's not a good look for you. And I'm like, well, I beg to differ, because I like it, my husband likes it, and my friends like it, and that's really all I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but people are fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the party of people who are not taken seriously by the prepping elite. Which, isn't that just in and of itself a ridiculous thought? Like, the prepping elite?
I just do me.
I'm just saying, like, it seems very counter to, like, we're gray men, except that we're in charge of the prepping
world. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, I was reminded of the saying that it's none of my business what anybody thinks about me.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't, because I really don't care.
Yeah. We are dealing with that in middle school right now.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Our littlest has found some mean girls.
Oh yeah.
Who are not being very nice to her. It's like chickens. It's like the chickens, and she had the little, and now they're just
tell the mean girls to come see Aunt Lisa.
Yeah.
I have pigs and a wood chipper.
My daughter will very much appreciate all of that. That is fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to go to basketball. Lisa's going to go look for turtles.
I'm going to bed.
Or alligators or whatever in the backyard. Crikey.
Yeah.
To all the Dazers who joined us, thank you very much. We're here every Wednesday-ish. Yeah, exactly. And we love to see you. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.